Jean-Pierre was born with sacroagenesis. This is a rare birth defect. It's a congenital disorder in which the fetal development of the lower spine is abnormal. He has only half a body. He was always bullied and some schools rejected him. His father abandoned him right after he was born. Despite that, he had to overcome bullying and rejection because of his appearance. He has built physical and mental strength. Meet this inspirational boy with a half body. When thinking about life, remember this. No amount of guilt can change the past, and no amount of anxiety can change the future. A negative mind will never give you a positive life. This is Afromax English. He's called Jean-Pierre. He's my firstborn. He was born disabled, as you can see. He was born by a cesarean section that made us spend the little amount of money we had by then. Right after he was born, doctors told us that they will stretch one of his legs, then cut the remaining one. They even gave us a transfer. But due to poverty we had, I and the father had run out of the budget. So we never took him back to cut the leg because it requested a certain amount of money. After I produced this boy, the family started asking, what on earth have I produced? It brought so much conflict between the families that it ended up forcing the husband to abandon us. After our boy was born this way, the father failed to accept that he produced a boy with no legs, but rather decided to leave us alone. But for me, I vowed to never leave him alone. He is my child, my blood. I will never give up on him. He will always count on me. When starting school, my boy was rejected by many schools, saying he can't manage to access school washrooms, that he would dirten himself everywhere, then come back to the seats, hence dirtening everywhere. And this resulted to going to the streets, because no any school has ever welcomed him. When he goes down the streets, he brings a few monies that we use here at home. The husband, before leaving, abused me just because of this boy. So we shifted where we lived before in a way of fleeing from him, because he mistreated me, so that he might never come back. He got a fork, put it in fire, then burned me alive. See here in the eyes, there are also scars where he burned me. He could say that among all his families, none of their members can produce such a disabled child. So he was putting all blame on me, that I was responsible for producing such an abnormal child according to his poor mindset. Ever since I produced this boy of mine, I haven't settled. I have always gone through difficult and harsh life conditions that one cannot bear. We had a house, but I never slept inside that house unless I wanted to be beaten the whole night. I could flee to somewhere away from him every night. But I kept on persisting and persevering. Only God knows. We must accept finite disappointment, but we must never lose infinite hope. Every adversity, every failure, and every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or a greater benefit. We should ask not for a lighter burden, but for a broader shoulders. After all that, I decided to shift from where we lived up to here. In terms of earning, I always look for people of whom I can cultivate their land, then pay me the little amount. Then we use that little amount to get our daily meal. I was born this way, but despite having disabilities, I try and do different skills and stunts. I play with other children so as to avoid loneliness that might end up bringing depression to me. Before, kids used to bully me so much about how I was born and blah blah blah. They would skip me and say I would not grow. They could also come and pee on me because they knew that I was not able to run after them. This broke my heart, and I would cry, then report it to mom. It happened several times. Like whenever mom had gone to the market and left me alone, they would profit that occasion and come harass and tease me. But right now, it's okay. They all got used to me and we live peacefully. Life here, living with one parent, a mother who has no job, is so complicated. Sometimes when it rains and we have nothing left to eat and no money, I go in the street, perform my skills, then come up with a few coins that we depend on. That's the life we live. I don't go to school like other children. Most schools rejected me. Right now, I have nothing to do that earns money. I had brought tomatoes, but none is buying them. I thought I would resell them and get some profit, but it's not working out. I was lucky to be given a small piece of land where I cultivate, and we have to depend on the little harvest we get from there. I once opened a small business, but due to so much tax demanded right at the beginning, the capital I had was spent on paying those taxes. Then the business collapsed right from the beginning. And today I'm not sure if we'll get what to eat at lunch. Since morning, I haven't taken anything, and this happens most of the times. We struggle with getting what to feed on. We have to endure that hunger pain, but it's not only us alone. Here, there are other people struggling with life. We are used to suffering, but maybe one day God will put an end to this. We spend many days without eating. This house we're living in is not ours. We have to pay the landlord. Sometimes we get a few amounts of money. Instead of shopping, we just have to pay to the landlord. My wish is to have my own house full of food because we have suffered with hunger for a long period of time. But for this to happen, it will require enough capital for me to establish a small business that can result into all that. In brief, I need a capital to start a life-changing business. I need school fees so as to go to a school that teaches disabled children. I don't want to spend the rest of my life on the streets, but I want to become a great, useful person to the society in the future. And I need a wheelchair that will facilitate my movement to different places. There are two basic motivating forces, fear and love. When we're afraid, we pull back from life. When we're in love, we open to all that life has to offer with passion, excitement, and acceptance. We need to learn to love ourselves first. In all our glory and our imperfections, if we cannot love ourselves, we cannot fully open to our ability to love others or our potentials to create. Evolution and all hopes for a better world rest in the fearlessness and open-hearted vision of people who embrace life. Be bold enough to live on your terms and never ever apologize for it. Go against the grain, refuse to conform. Take the road less traveled instead of the well-beaten path. Laugh in the face of adversity. and leap before you look. Dance as though everybody is watching. Match the beat of your own drama and stubbornly refuse to fit in. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah, and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.